right.
Good afternoon. My name is Dennis George, and I am the Associate Dean in the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences at Western Kentucky University. And I just want to welcome you and to say that we are absolutely delighted that you're joining us in this Zoom session this afternoon. And I'm sure we'd all rather be together face-to-face in person, but we're going to do the best we can with what we have available. And we're all going to look forward to being together just as soon as we can. Just a little bit about some of the logistics for the meeting. I wanted to let you know that you probably noticed that we have all of your microphones muted, and that's not because we don't want to hear from you, but what we've noticed when we have Zoom sessions with large numbers of participants is that if we don't mute the microphones, we get this really annoying electrical feedback and echo. So it just helps us to hear it better if we keep everything muted. But if you have a question, please just go ahead and type it in the chat box, because we have someone who will be monitoring that at all times and keeping track of all of the questions that you ask, so that we can be sure to get those answered for you. And not only that, but we will be following up this session with an email to you that will have the link to a recording of this session. Plus, it will have all of the individuals who participated, their names and contact information. So if you don't get everything written down today as we go through this, don't worry, because we're going to follow this up with an email for you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences here at WKU, Dr. Corinne Murphy. So Dr. Murphy, would you like to say hello?
Hi there. Good to see all of you on Zoom. As you've experienced, it's kind of a little strange because you only hear yourself and you don't hear the feedback of classes, but we are excited that you are joining us today. We're more excited that you are joining us in the fall. So we're super enthusiastic and appreciative that you've chosen Western Kentucky University. And I will tell you this, last year, I marked my 1 year at Western Kentucky University, which means I made my own choice of coming to Western Kentucky University 2 years ago. And the reason I share that with you is because I know you guys had choices to make, and I know you had to consider a bunch of different universities. And I want to tell you why I chose Western Kentucky University. Within the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences, we have some of the best faculty and best programs that you can find anywhere in Kentucky. Our alumni, those who have graduated from our programs, have literally led us through what has been the last 7 weeks of pandemic. So you'll see a lot of our leaders, your principals, your superintendents, your teachers, those are all folks who have graduated from our programs. And I couldn't be more proud of their leadership, and I couldn't be prouder of you all as you join us. So as the dean, you can think of me as your chief cheerleader for the next several years. So I work with your department heads and I work with the faculty to make sure that the academic experiences that you have while with us at Western Kentucky are the best that they can be. So we really value applied learning. We value the relationships that we get to build with each of you. By the time you're done, you're going to know Dr. George just by name and face from the hall. You're going to know Dr. Derryberry by name and face from the hall. Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Martin, you're going to see all these people every day. And Miss Rivas here, who has set up our whole Zoom, you want to wave there at everybody, Julia? She's your go-to person. So we're going to make sure that you are connected to everybody. We're going to make sure that you have field experiences and practicums and lab opportunities, and really enjoy your experience here. And we are spending our summer figuring out how to make sure that we can address next year and then every year after that. So we're super excited. You guys have quite the Zoom session planned. You're going to meet quite a few folks, Dr. Thompson, Dr. Derryberry, and you're going to hear a lot about our programs. So we're excited, and we'll see where it goes. Dr. George, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dean Murphy. And let me say to all the students that we are so very fortunate to have Dean Murphy as our leader in the college, because when she says that she is a cheerleader for students, let me tell you, that is absolutely the truth. We could not ask for a more student-centered leader, someone who puts students first and leads us to do the same thing. So we appreciate her very much, and we thank her for taking time today to say hello. And as she said, there's some other folks that I want to introduce you to who's going to provide some different types of information for you. First of all will be Miss Julia Rivas. Ms. Rivas is the coordinator of minority student recruitment for the college. And she's going to share with you now some information about some scholarships for folks in school teacher education. So, Ms. Rivas.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm so excited we have 48 participants in the Zoom. It's so exciting to have so many people. So yes, like Dr. George said, I am the minority teacher recruiter coordinator. And today I'm going to be sharing with you several scholarships. These scholarships will be soon in our website. But as of right now, I have shared with you a link to the page, to the document where I have them. So you can find it in the chat box. You can look at it, go through it. These scholarships are mainly for education majors. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you. So I'm briefly going to talk about this, and you can follow along. Like I mentioned, these are scholarships for education majors. Talking about state scholarships, Keys money. If you're from Kentucky, you're eligible to get this. But let's talk about WKU scholarships. And I know you guys have probably heard of Top Dollar. And although the deadline for Top Dollar was at the end of February, we still want to encourage all of you to fill out the application. And so there's still different organizations, different private scholarships that are still taking scholarship applications. So go ahead and do that. So if you notice, I have a table here. In this table, you will find these names are different scholarships that are for education majors. So like I said, you have a link in our chat box, and you can just go to the Top Dollar's website. You can click there and you can search for these names and go ahead and fill them out. Go ahead and apply for those. If you are a minority, from a minority background, then you're eligible for the Targeted Cornelius Martin Scholarship. And if you notice, you have probably, these are scholarships that have already automatically been added to your account. There's not an application that you can do. You will see it in your account. If you are from a minority background and do not see this scholarship in your account, go ahead and call the financial aid office and talk to them about your account. There's probably some misinformation there that you can probably talk to them about and have it fixed. And then there's other scholarships that, depending on your GPA, as you probably know, WKU does not require an ACT, that doesn't look at the ACT score for these merit awards. And again, these are automatically a scholarship that have been automatically added to your account. Okay,
and Leah, before you go on, if I could just add in here, hi everybody, this is Dean Murphy again. I just want to share with you that you were actually the first recipients of this new academic merit scholarship. So for those of you who are joining us at the 3.0 grade point average or above, you are the first of our newest students to be able to be eligible for this level of aid without your ACT or SAT score. So we're really proud of some of the changes that we made to make this money and this support available to you so that it's easier for you to come to college. We made this decision back in October. We were one of the first universities to do so in the country. And as a result of the current circumstances, some others have not done it as thoroughly as we have, but they are also moving in that direction. But we're very proud that this is a commitment that we've made to you, and it's a commitment that continues into your second, third, and fourth year at the university.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. Another thing that I would add will be to ask your departments. If you know that, for example, if you know you're gonna go into Sky Teach with, you want to do math and science, middle school or high school education, they have different scholarships. So go ahead and contact these programs. You know, talk to your music department. If you're going into music, they also have different scholarships just designated for their programs. So if you're going to language arts and social studies, contact them. You may be surprised, they may have some scholarship opportunities for you. If you're going into mathematics, science, foreign language, special education, or any other high need field, then there is the Teach Grant. For the Teach Grant, this is a federal scholarship. You have to have a 3.25. You do have to be a sophomore standing. So this will be applicable for you next year. But just for you to have this in the back of your head, there is a Teach Grant. There is an opportunity for you there as well. And in order for you to apply for this, you can send me an email. I would add in the chat meeting and my contact information. And also, like Dr. George said, we will follow up with an email as well with all this information for you. But these are for high need fields, and you do have to have a 3.25. You have to be a sophomore and have a FAFSA on file for you to get this Teach Grant. And there's no deadline for you to apply. You just send me an email, and there's the application process. There's a video that you have to watch, and then there's a couple applications that you have to fill out and return to me, and that's how we apply for the Teach Grant. A couple other ones for you to keep in mind will be the Higher Education Assistance Authority. This is through KIA, and this is the teacher scholarship program. And you see there are the requirements. You have to be a U.S. citizen, Kentucky resident, admitted in the teacher education program, and the link it's right here. So that's for you to apply, and there is a deadline for this one. I can't recall what the deadline is, but if you look there, you'll figure it out. There is also the Kentucky Academy for Equity in Teaching, and this one, it's a very broad scholarship opportunity, and this is a loan forgiveness program where after you get it, you have to let them know after you graduate with your education program, you will have to work for 4 years into in education in the program that you graduated in. And if by any chance you don't fulfill that requirement, then this will turn into a repayable loan with 6% interest. So if you're completely sure that education, that's the field you want to go into, then this will be a forgiveness program that you can very well apply for. And it's $5,000 per semester, and up to 4 semesters that you can apply for this. And the application, the link is right here. And for this one, you do have to kind of be looking at it every now and then, because they change the deadline. They have it up to for a month or for 2 months. So you have to be checking on those. So these are just some of the scholarships, like I said, that you may want to look into. There's other private scholarships that I have compiled in this document that you can certainly look into as well. And if you have any other questions about scholarship opportunities, feel free to contact me. Once again, you have a copy of this scholarship document as well, and we will have it available for you in our website as well.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rivas. And as I said at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of information shared with you today in a relatively short period of time, but we're going to make sure that we get all of this to you in a follow-up email. So just be looking for that once we conclude the presentations today. Now we're going to hear from Mr. Kent Johnson. Mr. Johnson is the Director of the Military Student Services for WKU. And oftentimes when we have gatherings like this, there are folks who are starting to WKU in the fall who have military service and have benefits either from themselves or perhaps even from their parents as part of the GI Bill. And so Mr. Johnson is going to talk with you a little bit about some of the ways that his office serves military and military affiliated students. So, Mr. Johnson?
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Dr. George. As Dr. George said, our office is a military student support office for anyone that's military affiliated. So what we want to be is a good point of contact for you at WKU to when it comes to accessing your benefits or any issues you may have that are connected with the military or anything like that. When I say military affiliated, I often try to clarify what I mean by that. So a lot of times when we think of military, we think of those that are currently serving. So we do serve that population. So active duty, National Guard, reserves, we serve them. We also serve veterans, those that have been in the military but are no longer in the military. But we also serve dependents or children and spouses of those that may be in the military now or have been in the military. So like Dr. George mentioned, we do have a large population of children and spouses of either prior service or currently serving military members that may have benefits. And there's so many benefits out there for military, and it depends what kind of benefits you may have access to, can depend on how long you served, what your connection to the military is. So what we try to do is to break that down for you, to talk with you, figure out what you may have access to, and help you access those benefits. So we do some specific things when it comes to that. For those that are currently serving in the U.S. military, we help them access their tuition assistance benefits. So if you are currently serving in the U.S. military, there's you may have access to tuition assistance benefits, which helps pay for college. So we can help you access those portals and the different benefits that you may have for that. If you are a veteran, we can help you get started with your GI Bill here at WKU. Our office doesn't actually process those benefits. We are not necessarily a benefit processing office. We are more of the student support side. So if you have GI Bill benefits, we have a VA office here at WKU. They're connected with they're in financial aid. So when you get to the Hill this fall, they're up in Potter Hall there with the financial aid department. But I'll share some of this contact information in the chat box, and then of course you're welcome to reach out to me as well. But they're the ones that would actually process your benefits, but we can walk you through how to get that started. And then also for those currently serving, we have a discounted tuition rate of $250 per credit hour. So that's a very important benefit that WKU offers currently serving U.S. military. So to access that, you have to be currently in the U.S. military. It could be active duty, reserve, or National Guard, but as long as you are currently serving, you have access to that benefit, that discounted tuition rate. It does have to be put on your account every semester because people's military status could change. They might get out while they're still pursuing their degree or something like that. So we'll help you see if you're eligible for that and make sure you get it. We also have a Textbooks for Troops program that's pretty exciting. It's homegrown here at WKU. We started out with just a handful of books that were donated by students and things like that. And then we had some community members and other students to continue to donate. And we now have a library of over 3,000 books that we help military connected students with. So this can help save you money on the cost of your books if you have a military connection. It's a free textbook lending program. So you would borrow the books from us free of charge for the semester and then get them back to us at the end of the semester. And so who would be eligible for this benefit, the Textbooks for Troops program? Would be anybody that has that direct connection to the military. So a service member that's currently serving, a veteran, or we also offer it to local children and spouses of veterans or military members. So we'd love to help you with that. Access Textbooks for Troops. We really love this program. If you are in the military and you get deployed overseas or something like that, we also ship these books. It's an awesome way to continue to serve our students that may be serving our country abroad. So we really are excited about this. A lot of universities have similar programs, but I don't know of any that's of the same, of as large as ours is in the way that we do it. So we're very proud of that and grateful for the support that the university gives us to help you all out. And let's see, what else did I want to mention here? Oh yeah, we also have a way to connect with other people that might be like you. We have a Student Veteran Alliance here at WKU, and it's student run, it's a student organization. So when you get to the campus, you might want to get involved in student activities and different things like that. If you have a military connection, I'd encourage you to look up Student Veterans Alliance. It's a chapter of the National Student Veterans of America. And so it's a great program, a great student organization to connect with those that are like you. Let's see, I don't want to, there's so much I could tell you about, but I don't want to get too far into the weeds about military benefits and things like that. Also, this college is home to the ROTC program, the Hilltopper Battalion. So if you do get involved with our Army ROTC here on WKU's campus, it's an award-winning program, very, very good program. They have a lot of scholarships, leadership development and opportunities there, and of course a future career as an Army officer if you graduate and commission in that program. So we also support those students as well. That's another population that we support. So how to get in touch with me, I believe Miss Martin put my email on the chat box, but my email is my name, kent.johnson@wku.edu. My phone number is 270-745-4163. And if you forget that, our email is really easy to remember, our office email. It's just military@wku.edu. And our website is wku.edu/veterans. So we'd encourage you to reach out. I understand maybe not all of you have a military connection, but you probably know someone that does if you yourself don't. So please keep us in mind. Share with any friends that you may have that are coming to WKU that may have a military connection. We serve students in this, we're glad to be here in College of Education Behavioral Sciences, but we serve any WKU student with a military affiliation. They're part of our family. So anyways, I'll give it back to you, Dr. George. I appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And frankly, we are very fortunate that we have the Military Student Services right in our building. So his office, Mr. Johnson's office, is on the second floor there in Gary Redstone Hall, and very welcoming. And come by and he'll introduce you to Can Do, who is our special military mascot. So thank you again. And so now we're going to hear from Dr. Blair Thompson. Dr. Thompson is the director of the School of Teacher Education, and he's going to welcome you. And I'll bet there are some of you out there that are participating in this session who are planning to enter into education in some fashion. So Dr. Thompson, if you would share some things with these students.
Yeah, we're very excited that you're here. This is a great time to go into education. We know that right now, amidst the pandemic, there's some different things going on, of course, with levels of instruction, but it is certainly a profession where we know there's going to be the continuation of jobs, and we are so proud of both our faculty and our student teachers and our alumni that are out there in the school districts that have really done their best to keep things going with really adapting and making huge changes. And so we're really excited about that. We've done a lot of curricular changes coming in here in terms of developing a core that we've, of course, is for any education major to take, and our regardless of what area you're going in, and we really work with our districts in developing at that. So we feel that it's just a really exciting time to be in the School of Teacher Education, regardless of which major you're doing. And there's a variety of ways for you to get in touch with us. You are welcome with our faculty to set up things like Zoom meetings and things like that. I think one of the best ways to do that is, one, you can always contact me. My email is, and I think that Stephanie Martin put it in the chat, blair.thompson@wku.edu, and I can certainly help you to get in touch with some of our faculty to set up a Zoom meeting to really talk about the ins and outs of the major as we're preparing for this upcoming year. We're really excited. One of the things that I think I'm proudest of regarding the School of Teacher Education this year is just how well they've adapted to teaching in different formats, and you know, they're prepared whether we're going to be online, face-to-face, hybrid, all of those types of things. And these are people that are masters in you know, teaching face-to-face, but also teaching online and through alternative modalities with Zoom, and so they really, I think that you're going to have a really great experience as you move into the classes within the School of Teacher Education. So I think that that's a really big part of these things. And we've got, we're working on constantly improving our advising system so that when you come in here, you work with people first who have backgrounds in kind of the general education courses and getting started, who are specifically getting you prepared to go into the School of Teacher Education. And then you get assigned an advisor once you get into the School of Teacher Ed that is within your major itself. And I'll also brag on Stephanie Martin, who is our director of the student placement services for us, to getting you set up with your field work. There is no better person for you to be working with in terms of that. She's recently was a elementary principal, and so she has all kinds of connections to set you up where you want to go in terms of field and things of that nature. And she works from you in day one. She set up all kinds of alert systems to keep you in tune with all of the things that you need to know in terms of being admitted to becoming a teacher, and all the way through with your field hours and things like that. And, you know, I think most schools, universities have something set up like this, but they do not have a Stephanie Martin, as I always like to say. She's just fantastic with these types of things and is really wonderful to work with. And I can add some of those things, but I know that I believe Dr. Derryberry has some things to add too about coming in on the psychology side as well.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Derryberry. I am the one of the co-department heads for the Department of Psychology. Let me just first say that I think you all have made, the psychology majors listening here anyway, have made two great choices. Everybody's made at least one great choice. The first great choice is your choice of Western. I am not from Bowling Green. I'm not from Kentucky. I'm actually from Tennessee. But like Dr. Murphy was saying, I too made Western my home, chose to attend Western, and that was, or to come to Western to work. And that was over, that's going to be 20 years come this fall. I'll be starting my 20th year, and I haven't wanted to be anywhere else. It's a great place to be. So that's the first great choice you've made. Second great choice is choosing psychology. It's a great major. It's a very versatile major. There is probably not anything you can do in this world for a career, for an occupation, for just life in general, where a background in psychology will not help you. I mean, think about it. It's the scientific study of mind and behavior. And where is that not helpful? It's helpful everywhere. And as you know, we've learned a lot of things as a result of the pandemic, but what we definitely know is that the need for those with a background in psychology and those who are working in fields pertaining to psychology is strong. So you've made a great choice. If you like thinking about people and you like working with people, I think you've made a great choice for a major, and it's a major that will help you to locate many professional opportunities in your future, whether you go on to be a psychologist per se or do something that pertains to the field. So congratulations on both those two choices. Now, in terms of what you need to do in becoming a student in this major, you've done what you've needed to do. You have selected psychology as your major. Now, one thing you will note, however, is when you look on the information you get, it will say seeking admission. We do have admission requirements for psychology. You have to have either a 20 ACT score, composite score, or a 2.5 GPA at any point after your first 30 hours in college. And once I see that that has occurred, I will switch you over to admitted. So there's no paperwork, nothing that you need to do. All you have to do is declare your major. And when you see that, that comment that says seeking admission, don't worry. When I see that you've met the criteria, I go through our majors every semester to see who's met the criteria, and I simply change you over to admitted. So there's no more paperwork you need to do as far as becoming a student in this major. If you want to talk to any of us, we're all glad to talk to you. In fact, it's very easy to contact us. Normally, I'd give out copies of my card so you can see how to contact us. But I'm going to use some really fancy technology to show you how to get in touch with us. I don't know if you can see that or not. Actually, it's backwards, but wku.edu/psychology. I have nothing but the finest technology for me. And hopefully that'll appear in the chat. But when you go to that, that's our website. And if you select contact, those contact emails will go straight to me. And I'll be happy to meet with you, to Zoom with you, to talk with you. Or if you've seen somebody on our website that you think, ooh, I'd really like to talk to that person, I can set that up for you. But the easiest place to start is just logging into or pulling up our website and contacting us, which would mean a contact to me, and I will be in touch with you. So that's all you have to do. If you want to contact me directly, my email is pit.derryberry. You can see how my name's spelled on your screen at wku.edu. Hopefully somebody will, I know we have a monitor, someone will put that in the chat box, or I will eventually after I'm done here, so you can see how to contact me. But yes, I encourage you, if you want to Zoom with me or anyone in the department, we make that available. I Zoom with prospective students, current students, potential students all the time. So, well, not all the time, I'd be doing that right now, wouldn't I? But regularly, quite regularly. So don't hesitate to contact me to meet. In terms of how advising is going to work, right now you've been assigned to probably Ms. Sweeney in the Academic and Career Development Center. She will be your advisor for the first 2 years, but at the same time, you'll be assigned a faculty mentor who will also work with you and be available to you. So that faculty mentor will be somebody from the psychology department who can help you with all your thoughts about your future in psychology. Ms. Sweeney will advise you specifically pertaining to all the logistics and parameters pertaining to advising in general. But your mentor is there to help you with all your questions that you have about psychology as a major, psychology as a field, psychology in your future. So you will receive information from Ms. Sweeney about who your mentor is. And I highly encourage you to meet with that mentor. Your mentor will be in touch with you. We'll send you an email. Periodically, we'll email you just to check in and make sure you're doing okay and have questions and give you the opportunity to meet. So do not hesitate to touch base with that mentor. And if your mentor and you develop a good solid relationship and comfort with each other, that mentor after that second year will become probably your advisor. However, your mentor might be in an area of psychology that is not the same as what you want to go into. So if that's the case, you'd be assigned a different advisor, someone who has interests more specific to what your interests are. So yeah, advising in the department works that way. First 2 years through the Academic and Career Development Center, and the second 2 years with someone in the department itself, but you'll always be in close contact with the department due to your mentor, and also due to the fact that our classes are taught predominantly by our faculty, and our faculty are very strong in teaching. And so they're going to want to get to know you. They're going to, you're going to not be a number. You're going to be a person, and ultimately known by name by most of your instructors in psychology that you have. That's basically all I have to say at this point. One thing I would say, though, is our faculty welcome the opportunity to work with students from day one in their labs. If you have an interest in research, don't hesitate to check out the research interests of our faculty members. We do give course credit for conducting research with our faculty members. So don't just get online and just check out and see what courses we have. Check out our faculty. They're all listed on our website, and see what they're doing. And if you have an interest in getting involved in research, you can do that from day one. You don't have to be an upperclassman or even a graduate student. So don't hesitate to check out our research interests. And if you have an interest in working with somebody, contact them directly. They're happy to share their research interest and to take on eager students. So that is definitely something that is a great opportunity that we have in the department with our faculty and the labs and research agendas that they have. But I look forward to hearing from you all. I'm glad that so many have shown up for this Zoom meeting. Again, I'm easily contactable, even during a pandemic. Once we're back on campus, I always have an open door policy, so don't hesitate to seek me out when and if you ever need me. I'm here to serve you. I couldn't do my job without you, so have me do it. I'll turn it back over to Dr. George.
Okay, and thanks to Dr. Thompson and Dr. Derryberry. And I'd just like to say that what they said about teacher education and psychology cuts across all of the disciplines in the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. And we couldn't ask every single program to be represented in a short session like this. So we asked teacher education and psychology, who very graciously accepted. But if you are interested in a major other than those two, I would like for you to consider me, Dennis George, as your personal point of contact. And if you will get in touch with me, then I will make sure that that inquiry gets to the right person and that someone in your area of interest will contact you. And as I've said multiple times, and we'll say again, we'll get all this information, this contact information out to you so you will know how to get in touch with us. And it's particularly in this case, get in touch with me if your interest lies outside of psychology or in teacher education. We're also fortunate today to have a couple of students with us from one from psychology and one from teacher education. And I want to introduce those individuals to you now and ask them to say a word, just to say hello and share anything they'd like to share about their programs and themselves. So first of all, we have Sydney Butler, who is a senior in our forensic psychology program. So Sydney, would you like to say hello?
Yes. Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm originally from the Chicago suburbs, so I came a long way to come here. And like you said, I'm a forensic psychology major with a legal studies minor, and I'm a senior, so I'm about to graduate.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sydney. And we also have Maria Hendrick, who is a senior in elementary and special education. So Maria, would you like to say hello?
Hey, I'm Maria. I'm an elementary and special education major. We actually have like the double major here at WKU for that. And then I'm actually from Bowling Green, so I didn't travel very far. I just went from home to school, basically.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank both of you for being with us this afternoon. As you can probably tell, Sydney and Maria are on campus today, and we appreciate that. And I appreciate you all taking some time out to chat with us. I said at the beginning of this session that this is not a substitute for a face-to-face tour of our facilities at Gator Ransdale Hall. We have a beautiful, beautiful building, beautiful facilities. We are so very proud of it. And it is unfortunate if you haven't had the chance to look at our building that we're not able to do that right now. But I'm absolutely confident that one of these days, hopefully very, very soon, we're going to, this shelter in place or whatever you want to call it will be over, and we'll return to a more normal mode of operation. And when they do, I want to say, please, particularly if you've not had an opportunity to tour our building, I want to again extend the opportunity for you to contact me directly, Dennis George, and let me know that. And it would be my honor to give you a tour. We'll set up a time when we can both make that happen. And you and your family or whoever you'd like to bring along with you. And we'll meet some of the folks that you have met already today in this session, and also some more faculty and staff, because we really we want you to feel welcome, we want you to feel at home, and we want you to see the kinds of things that we have in store for you throughout your college career. One last thing that I would like to say before we open some things up, probably many of you have already gone through a topper orientation program or a top program. And if you have, that's great, but perhaps some of you have not. If you haven't gone through a top, we encourage you to do so. You'll get some information about financial aid, the Advising Career Development Center or ACDC, and you'll also get a link that you can go to meet with an advisor face-to-face to get your classes for the fall. And we really want to encourage you to do that. And if you haven't done that and you're wondering what in the world I'm talking about, we'll make sure to include that information as well when we send this out to you. Okay. What I'd like to do now is to say hello to your admissions counselor, Ms. Morgan Gossett, who is also on this program. And I don't know, Morgan, if you want to say hello to these folks. And okay.
Absolutely, yes. Thanks, Dr. George. As he mentioned, my name is Morgan Gossett, and I am the admissions counselor for the surrounding Warren County area. I notice a lot of familiar names on the screen here, so I'm so glad that you all have continued your journey towards becoming a Hilltopper, and you're taking the time to get to know the department that you're interested in as well. He mentioned Topper Orientation Program, TOP. If you haven't registered for TOP already, be sure that you do so very soon. You would have recently received an email letting you know that we have transitioned all of our upcoming TOP dates to a virtual format. And we've actually added a couple of extra dates if you're really eager and excited and you want to get those classes scheduled soon. So if you have any questions, I'll drop my email in the chat as well. Feel free to put your questions in the chat or send them to me directly via email. But again, it's so wonderful to see you all today, and I appreciate the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences hosting this.
Thank you very much, Morgan. We appreciate you being here and appreciate you for recommending that we do this. We're really glad that we did. I don't know, I do want to give a shout out to Miss Stephanie Martin. I know that Julia already has and Blair has already said something about her, but she's the one who's been monitoring our chat today. And I don't know, so I have not. Do we have some questions that we can address now, or?
Well, Dr. George, one of the main questions, I do want to thank Maria Hendrick, our student on the panelists, shared her email because one of our teacher ed folks asked for her email. So I appreciate that, because sometimes it's easier to ask the students directly, and I understand that. One person's asking if there's a separate application for the teacher education program, and I know the answer to that one. There is, and I'm going to be putting it in the email that Julia or Dr. George sends you all after this. I'll send you all some information about applying to the teacher ed program. There are some background things you have to do, and there'll be an orientation this fall that we will have where we'll really explain it, but we'll be sending some information about that. But yes, there is an application you have to do. but you don't have to do it before you get here, but we'll send that to you so you can start working on it if you want to. That was a great question. And I
Okay.
didn't see any other specific ones, but if somebody wants to either write it in, or if you want to, we can unmute you if you wanted to give us your name, if you wanted to ask. Oh, here we go. Is there anyone online who could speak to the teacher education living learning community that's coming? Dr. George, do you know more about the freshman village and the living learning community that it hadn't started yet? Or Dean Murphy's still with us. I bet she can tell a lot about the living learning community. I see her coming on board here.
Absolutely. So the Topper Teacher Living Learning Community is a group of students who have chosen and wish to live in a bit of in proximity to each other within the dorm space, to be able to go to some classes together. So they have a couple of their classes scheduled together. And then they have the opportunity for study groups and really exploring the profession. And so a lot of that runs through our housing and residence life colleagues. And Morgan, you may even have more information on that, Morgan Gossett. Is that possible?
At this time, I don't know timeframes or the specifics on what it might look like, but I will say that I am a huge advocate for those living learning communities, and they're going to be a really awesome asset for our students coming soon, because you do get that added community not only within the classroom, but also within your living spaces as well. So if you have the opportunity in the future, or you will have the opportunity in the future to join that Topper Teachers Living Learning Community, take advantage of that and build your network every day.
And if you send an email to Mrs. Martin, we can actually get you some information. We started these last year, and so we started with a small group of students and a couple of faculty who are involved in the project. We'll run it again this year, still on the smaller scale, and then next year we'll ramp it up to a bit of a larger scale. For those who are interested in a this year opportunity, definitely send an email to Mrs. Martin, and then we will make sure that you get that information.
There's another question here that I think I can help with about praxis test. I love that question because you're being so proactive. The sooner you take the praxis, the better. Right now, because of coronavirus, they are closed. The testing centers are, but we hear that they're going to offer an online home option where you can do that. You can sign up to do that from your home, which is brand new. We're getting that information together to share with our current students, and I will get that to you in a follow-up email in the next week or so, how you can go ahead and take that. But it's smart to take, if you know you're going to become a teacher, take it now, the core praxis, because that will be the equivalent of the ACT test many of you just took. So you've already got that already going in your head. You want to go ahead and get that information out and pass those core praxis early. So we'll get you some information about that. There is a question about a change in the elementary ed class requirements. So Dr. Thompson may be able to answer this better. And it might be a question, this is from L. Carter, and we'll make sure we get that question maybe specifically to you, emailed to you. I'll get with Dr. Thompson, or there he is.
Yep.
Dr. Thompson, it says, I have a question about the elementary ed class requirement change. Kentucky history is no longer required, but she's taken it, she or he has taken it, and was wondering if it would still count towards their degree. So I would assume their advisor would be the person to help them with that.
Yeah, they will be able to help. There's some different, can you hear me? I think I've got it unmuted now.
Yes, we can hear you.
So there are some different options in there. There's also the potential, one of the reasons with that option is it wasn't being offered as much on our campus anymore. And so it was less of an option on if that can count for you and more of an option of if that's going to be offered. So I think that we would, that there's a possibility you'd have to talk to your advisor of having that be done as a substitute course there. But that is good that you caught that change within there. We're really excited about the changes to the elementary education major, including the core, as well as some other classes that they put it in there, and some things that they're doing integrated with the special education faculty as well. So we're really excited about that. Good question.
That's great. These are very proactive questions.
Yes.
You guys are on top of it. Anybody else have anything specific they wanted to know about today? You're welcome to ask. And if not, I don't see anything specific yet. So I don't know what else is on the agenda here, Dr. George.
Well, that's actually pretty much the agenda. We just wanted to, more than anything, to touch base with you. You know, we are so disappointed that we're not being able to make those kinds of face-to-face connections that we always like to make. But even though we're not, what we wanted to communicate to you in whatever small way we could in a session like this is that we are absolutely honored, thrilled that you have chosen Western Kentucky University, and in particular the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. And we look forward to being your partner in education for the next 4 years. So thank you. Thank you for being part of this session. Thank you to all of the others from WKU that participated, and all of the prospective students. This will be here in the fall. Thank you so much. And be looking in the next couple of days for that email so that we can make sure you get all this information. And if you have any other questions, you can email me and I will get it to the right place to get an answer for you. Okay?
Dr. George, before we end, I may have a surprise. It may work, it may not work.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Rivas, would you allow me to share my screen if you could? So we're going to try to show you the building. That's what we're going to try to do. Is it working? There it is. Okay, here we go. We're going to see how this goes. If it doesn't work, you know, this is what our college is all about, experimentation. So here we go.
Hello, and welcome to the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. I'm Dean Murphy, and we are thrilled that you are considering enrolling at Western Kentucky University. In our college, we are committed to helping students reach their academic goals so that upon graduation, they can serve as change agents in our communities. Students who earn a WKU degree have the knowledge and skill sets necessary to excel in their chosen career field. Our programs, including psychology, teacher education, organizational leadership, and so many others, provide students academic opportunities that lead to highly sustainable jobs and fulfilling careers. Additionally, our students are individually known by our faculty and our staff due to small class sizes, professional mentoring, engaged field and lab opportunities, and robust advising. Students in our college are not just numbers or faces in a crowd. They are members of our family. Hilltoppers learn together, we celebrate together, we support one another, and we serve to enrich the lives of those in our communities. During this time, we welcome your phone calls and invite you to join us in Zoom meetings so we can identify your interests and so that we may answer any questions you may have about your experience as a student in the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. We cannot wait for you to join us on the Hill. Be well and go Tops.
So there you go. It worked. I'm amazed, but I'm so happy. So now you all have seen a little bit of our building, which we're very proud of. It's one of the best teacher education and psychology buildings that we can offer and that you can access as a student. And so we look forward to having you all on the Hill for sure. Go Tops.
Okay, thank you again. And definitely go Tops.